Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. I'm Dante Payne. Unfortunately, I'm by myself tonight because Brett couldn't make it in, but he will be back next week. But we got a exciting show for you today as we got different things going on in the NFL and NBA. We also got ring ceremonies and previews. So stay tuned with us, rock with us, and welcome to the show. Dragon Sports Live, baby, in the house. If y'all want to comment, go to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com and tune in. Or if you got the TuneIn app, tune in that way. And if you follow me on live, leave a comment, drop your name. And if you got music, send that clean music to me at DragonJumpPro@gmail.com. Like I said, it's going to be an exciting show today. We're going to give you the rundown of Bears and the NFL. And we're going to talk about Bulls and NBA. Oh yeah, that's right. NBA is back. So, with that being said, we're going to give you Plow by Asha Marie here on Dragon Sports Live. Here's Plow.
Drowned by the sound, no, we can't give up now. Blood crying from the living to tell your story, Emmett Town. Your hand on the plow, live from Emmett Till Road. Yeah, money, Mississippi. I want my refund. I see the bed is empty. Return our native son. Picking cotton made you plenty. My hands have made you filthy, rich, naked, poor, blind, lost inside of you was pity. All of it, lies that you covered. Tallahatchie snitching on ya, the truth hovered. Pulling pranks in the floating in the riverbanks. Wouldn't bank on you gloating over his remains. Chicago's future, snatched by his accuser. Given to a living, unforgiving child abuser. A whistle brought a pistol to the temple. It was simple, his initials on his ring. Only ID that was seen, ugly scene. How can I keep plowing and miss the funeral? Emmett is a witness to heaven is something beautiful. To maybe I keep tilling till Jesus bring racial healing. Bad weeds can't destroy a little black boy's joy.
Crying from the ground. We're drowned by the sound, no, we can't give up now. Blood crying from the ground. We're drowned by the sound. Your hand on the plow, no, we can't give up now.
1955 was no different from this present day thing. For black youth was shot today to be televised for all the blacks to see.
Up to your right. Playing with a gun outside a rec center. The gun turned out to be fake, and he was shot to death by a rookie police officer who says that he thought it was real.
Baby steady down and parents grind, cause they burying their young ones in the ground year round. Marching on this land to stand for grands and grants, cause they stood for us, they could hardly move around. What happened to the love? What happened to the peace? We used to be close, this fire need to cease. Forget the burner, put it in the burners with all that other nonsense. You selling on the beat, burn the heat and the news too. 24/7 lives are getting pretty crucial. Tragedy actors are doing crimes that we used to. Who do we call? When do we pray? What do we look to? Get on your knees, call on his name, it's pretty simple. That's what the saints do. Mangle, don't be a fool and get your brains through. That ain't cool. This is the generation now. You should never tap out. We never gonna stop. Keep your hands on the plow.
Walk with me, Lord, walk with me. She said, open the casket so everybody sees this. Look how he was beaten, look how he was treated. A sore for sight, eyes too much for the screen. But in 20-something teen, we still don't believe it. Got strong from every meal that my mama fed. Wisdom in her words, I could feel what my mama said. Mama's burying sons, another son is dead. Wish I could catch every tear that my mama shed. Fist lips, hips, afros, and dark hair. Underground railroad, Rosa Parks there. A queen in the field, Lord knows it's not fair. Black girl magic, life's known to start there. From sugar to spicy, daily and nightly. The world on the shoulders with a kid on her right knee. Taking on life's lemons, adding it to her iced tea. While Mahalia Jackson singing spirituals in the right key.
Crying from the ground. We're drowned by the sound, no, we can't give up now. It's round about the sun. Your hand on the plow. No, we can give up now. I'll bury you in a garden full of flowers, underneath the April showers, because you withered while I grew. And I'll bury you to cut out all the stain, 'cause I need someone to blame, and I can't blame you. And how I've grown, and how I've grown, and how I've grown, and how I've grown. And I will bury you, for you have buried me at the bottom of the sea, where I just could not find my key to a small one-bed apartment somewhere in the city that housed the only clue that I have not buried you. And how I've grown, and how I've grown, and how I've grown, and how I've grown.
Welcome back to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. So as I said before, we're gonna give y'all NBA, NFL breakdown, and we're gonna give you news, sports, and news. We're gonna give it like it's real. But speaking on NBA, Butler is set to play tonight. Even though the trade talks and he has been in the news a lot lately and in the headlines, he's set to play tonight. And only thing he said he was gonna do is try not to get kicked out the game. Because he's frustrated with the team, but he's also frustrated with the management. He wants to be traded, and it hasn't been done. And it's just simply because I think his asking price is way too high. What they asking for him. They're trying to get a bunch of good players and draft picks. And Butler just trying to find a new place so he can go to town. Be him. Like, Butler's a 4-time All-Star. So the fact that this is, he's surrounding him in this drama is kind of crazy, but it's business. Like, if business is not running right, you move on. You go to the next thing. That's simple. They set the square off tonight against the Spurs in San Antonio, but we don't know. Like, if you know where he gonna go, or if you got a comment of where he want to go, send your comments in. Let's talk Butler for a second. He hasn't really been on the court. Like, this past 2 weeks was the first time that he did on-court activities in a while. And he literally is just that's just how frustrated he is. He's like, he wants to go. He wants the management to be better. And it's just like, Tibbs went pretty much got mostly Bulls players, because you got Rose, you got Gibson, you even got Brooks, I think, still coming off the bench. And you thought this newfound team with Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns and Jeff Teague and Butler added into the mix, it's just like, what y'all gonna do? What they gonna do? I thought they was gonna be clicking like they made it to the playoffs last year. And then all of a sudden, now they're not. It's just all no holds bar. Everyone just, like, Butler just attacking everyone. He literally took a whole third stringers and beat the starting lineup. Beat all the stars. So he just been on a tear lately because of that. But since we talking NBA though, NBA season is here. NBA season is back in full effect. Yesterday was opening night for the NBA. And what better way to start the season off? So, the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers faced off yesterday. Embiid had 23 points and 10 rebounds in that game, while Simmons had 19, 15, and 8. Simmons is on tap to average another triple-double, like he did his rookie season. His shot has gotten better. Like, I actually watched that game. He's looking like he was putting in work over the summer, doing it and going in and all that. And now he's back. Like, now he's back in another season, and he already got 19 points on the board, 15 boards, and 8. He was too shy for getting that triple-double. On the other hand, Embiid, 23 and 10. And the way he prepared for the game was by watching Richard and Monty for the game. And he's saying that this game is not, the series between the Celtics and the Sixers is not a rivalry game. But on the contrary, I think you just made it a rivalry. Like, let's see. Also, JJ Redick gave you 16 points off the bench too as well. Those are the only 3 players who scored in double digits for the Sixers. Now, on the other hand, we had Jason Tatum, who had a wonderful night. 23 and 9. When you get Morris coming off the bench with 16 and 10, Brown gave you 12, and Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. It's their first games back, and they was a little sluggish though. But Gordon Hayward gave you 10 points, with Terry Rozier gave you 11 and 8 boards coming off the bench. So speaking of sluggish night, it was a sluggish night for both teams. It was like we wasn't playing all preseason, it just the way they was playing last night looked like they wasn't playing at all over the summer. They wasn't doing anything. It just was a off night, a horrible shooting night for both teams. But it was slightly better for the Celtics. While we talking about that, let's give you a breakdown of this. Let's start with the Sixers first. The 76ers was 34 from 87. That's 39% from the field. And then 19.2 from three-point range. Free throw percentage was only 58% from the free throw line. Celtics, on the other hand, 42 of 97 shots. That's 43% from the field. 11 of 37 from three-point range is 30%. So you see the edge right there. The Celtics had the slight edge over there as far as shooting percentage goes. Especially from three. Irving and Hayward, like I said, their first games back, they combined for 6 of 26 for the game. Irving didn't start scoring really until to the third quarter, basically. He had just 2 points at halftime, and then, third quarter he started scoring. He finished the game off with 7 and 7 assists. And if you, like, this is supposed to be that big five that, that they was talking about, like, you got your small forward back. You got Kyrie back, who left towards the end of the season for knee surgery. So he missed the end of the regular season and playoffs. So those key factors, and Kyrie, to me, he is a key factor that you need. Like, when you need a bucket or need a foul, Kyrie is that guy. Like, he can drive to the basket, lay it in, and get fouled and still make the shot. That's just how versatile he is. And then Hayward, he hasn't played since opening night of last year, so he's still shaking off the rust. But he had adrenaline pumping, and he actually quoted saying that it was fun to be back out there because he hasn't been out there in such a long time. I will give them a couple more games, and you will see more life out of them. But they still helped their team win. In that win, the bench outscored the 76ers 44-26. That's crazy, right? Also, Boston won 10 straight games against Philly and won their last 15 in that series. They're 15 of 17, so that was just a start point. And like I said, it's open season. It's a long season ahead. You will play them again. Sixers going to probably bring a whole different ball game, a whole different mindset coming to that next game. Moving right along. So the next game for the Sixers will be Thursday as they host the Chicago Bulls, who's out without Larry Marketing, and the Celtics will host the Raptors. And then we also have a couple games coming up tonight, but I'll give you that in what I call you pick 'em and choose 'em. But before then, we're going to keep it real up in here. We're going to keep moving along.
You look so good to me.
Slick J Adams, keep it real here on Dragonland Sports Radio. CSR, baby.
Man, I just want to keep it real. Hey, I know you ain't used to guys being on some real shit. No, I know you used to them telling you that same old nonsense. Like I ain't got no girl, like you the only one I wanna be with in this whole wide world. You know what they say? Ooh, anything to get it. Let me keep it real and tell you how I feel. Oh girl, I'm feeling you. Hey, right now I'm wanting you. That's how you cut out all of the crying and hurting and weeping. That's how you cut out all the conniving, sneaking and scheming. And you will never have to worry about me playing lame ass games. You know what it is. I know what it is. We'll be on the same page, 'cause I'm feeling you. Hey, right now I'm wanting you. Hey, girl, we too grown for games. Girl, I wanna just keep it real. Baby, just for one night, I'll keep you satisfied. No need to play no games. Girl, I wanna just keep it real. Girl, you know I gotta keep it real. Come on, let's be for real, baby. I know you ain't used to. See, I know you used to kiss like me. Keep it real. I know you wanna. I don't mean to come on through this at all. Keep it real. But I gotta keep it real. I gotta tell you how. Surely this is how I really feel. Oh girl, I'm feeling you. Feeling you. Right now I'm wanting you. And I'm really wanting you. Girl, we do games. Girl, I wanna just keep it real. Keep it real. One night, I'll keep you satisfied. No games. Girl, I wanna just keep it real. Can I keep it real? Can I keep it real? Can I keep it real? Can I keep it real?
Welcome back to Dragon Sports Radio here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I'm Dante Payne. If you just tuning in, and that last song you heard was called Keep It Real by Slick J. Adams. So we was talking NBA opening night for the Celtics and 76ers. Let's go over to another team who had opening night too, that played on opening night. And that was Golden State versus OKC. OKC was without Russell Westbrook in that game, but Golden State bling. They got their rings that day. Oh my word. So they just became the first team in history to get a reversible ring. So like one side is blue with blue diamonds on there, the other side is white diamonds. You twist the top off and it literally says strength in numbers. The ring was so stoned out that I had to grab my shades to look at that ring as I was watching it on TV. But on top of ring night, Golden State and OKC was in an all-out battle in that game, but Steph Curry put up 32 points in that game. 32. Like, he was on a tear. He was 5 from 9 from 3. And he was literally just shooting with hands all up in his face, left and right. So I thought that was kind of crazy, but he went off. Opening night, got to celebrate. And since they were without Russ, you didn't really have that extra spunk to keep you forward, keep you moving within that. So, and man, like my cousin just said, the ring was a game changing. Yeah. Big ups to Jason of Beverly Hills who did that job. Rings were super dope. But we're going to give you a little bit of commercial break. And after this match, we're going to give you more sports talk on Dragon Sports Live on Chicagoland Sports Radio.
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all of the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all of the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports, broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
What are you doing? Don't eat that sandwich during the game.
Why not?
That sandwich is cursing and unsportsmanlike. It will cause the Sox to lose.
What do you mean?
Sandwiches is not a sports food to eat.
Huh? Then what should I eat?
Get yourself some boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. You have the choice from sweet to blazing sauce. When you eat Buffalo Wild Wings, you can make any team you support win.
Really now?
Try these spicy wings from Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the Sox win. Now watch and be amazed of what happens.
eBay charges closed. And the White Sox have won the World Series.
Those are really tasty. And the Sox really did win.
Yep, see? Told you. Best way to do it is with Buffalo Wild Wings. Can't go wrong with wings. The best sports food in the world. Stop at your local store or go into your local Buffalo Wild Wings. Grab your boneless wings today. Anytime, anywhere, any place. Get the Buffalo Wild Wings. And be amazed on what happens.
Hot music.
You said you don't touch me the way you touch me.
I think you cheating on
You
me.
don't love her the way you love me. When you're ready, you thinking of me. I want to tell you how you love me. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't know everything let go.
Man, fuck they form of opinion and Tyson Nation is winning. Tired of your flipping, you know gymnast, I'm sweeter than Splendid. So why you acting sour? Everything was tremendous. You think you saw your titanium and now you ain't been. Your friends is phonies, why they lonely? I'm tired of they ditching when sipping. When chickens get drunk, they short of dimensions. No longer 3D but two-faced. RBJ, like them old apartments. I wish your girls just far from it. Realize me like Martin, though. I will never part from you. We can be like Kendrick doing all the things that lovers do in swimming pools, private yachts, making movies, private parts with private plots. We don't need them toys to keep in private stock. I'm big enough for both of us. I got you, boo. They don't know what we've been through. It's always been just us two. They form of opinion and Tyson Nation is winning. Tired of they flipping, they no gymnasts.
You said you don't touch me the way you touch me.
You
You
know
don't
me.
love her the way you love me. When you're ready, you thinking of me. I want to tell you how you love me. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't know everything that goes.
The opinion's gone. The vision's lost cause we blocked them from watching, from cock blocking. The future's ours. Diamond rings, bigger houses, flashy cars, astronomy. You always thought our future's bright, we blind them all. Rock Johnson, we walking tall. I'm never lonely when you with me, but first I would call. Forever was, you know we got that love, like we was J&B. You know we got that buzz, we gon' shine in that limelight when we together. Our rhyme title, I mean title. Championship and I need the title. People mad about our rival. Go to Paris, see the Eiffel. Either way, I'm gonna
Be with you.
don't wanna be nowhere else. Can't see me by myself with nobody else. That's just the way I feel. Damn how you made me fall. In love with a princess, she sits so elegant. I wanna be your prince. All these other chickens
You
together.
said you don't touch me the way you touch me.
I think you
You
cheating
don't
on
love
me.
her the way you love me. When you're ready, you thinking of me. I want to tell you how you love me. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. They don't, they don't, they don't. don't know. They don't know. He said you don't touch me the way you touch me. And you don't love her the way you love me. When you're ready, you're thinking of me. I was thinking you love me. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know everything that's all. Oh yeah. See, when we started this, I was so confused. Didn't know just where to turn now. Baby, you're my fuse. Baby, you're my fire. Baby, you're my ride or die. Anywhere you lead me, boy, it's gonna be worth my while. Baby, you're my heart. Baby, you're my whole. Baby, you're the one I wanna be with till we're old. This is up for everything I feel it in my soul. You're my lover and my friend. I'll never let you go. 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 It would go this far. Folks been trying to break us up from the very start. People steady talking back and forth, gossiping about you, but I tune out all the noise. 'Cause to me, you're the truth. I respect your hustle, I respect your grind. Always keep it real with me, say what's on your mind. Share your every thought, share what's in your heart. You already know the deal, you had me from the start. Never let you go. 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 Never let you go.
What I gotta do now to keep my shorty here with me? 'Cause I don't ever wanna go without my baby. What I gotta do now to keep my shorty here with me? Girl, just kissing you gets me weak in the knees. Feels so safe and warm. Keep us covered through the storm. Loving you is all I ever need. So forget about the past. Work hard to make it last. Girl, I'll always be with you. Never let it go.
Never let you go. Never let you go. Never let you go. And never let you go. Never let you go. Oh no. Never let you go. 'Cause you know you're always mine. Never let you go. Never let you go. Never let you go. Never let you go. Never let you
Lights, camera, action. Hey there, I'm Dante Payne. I am the founder and CEO of Dragon Jump Productions. Dragon Jump Productions specializes in media production based in Chicago. We offer services in graphic design, photography, as well as videography. We also work with models as well. So if you got an idea for a photo shoot or you need to be branded, let us help you make your brand. Dragon Jump Productions will claw their way into stardom by making you look great. So if you want to book that next photo shoot with Dragon Jump Productions, reach out to dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Again, that's dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Let us take you and make you great. Book now, Dragon Jump Productions.
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all of the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all of the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports. Broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio is not just sports, it's a way of life.
Welcome back to Dragon Sports Live. I'm Dante Payne. If you just tuning in, I love the sound of my name when I say it. Woo, it makes me feel so good. But, moving on. So, NFL last week was kind of crazy. Extremely crazy. Let's see. Let me. Where do I start? Eagles and Giants. Let's start with them. That first half of that game for the Giants looked horrible. Second half did too, but it was just like they kept throwing screen passes to Odell Beckham Jr. Like across field screen passes to the right side. And then expect him to go. And then he didn't go deep at all. They went deep to Saquon Barkley more than they went to Odell Beckham. So what is that saying for the league? What direction are y'all going away from Odell Beckham Jr., who's your elite receiver? I think I want to agree that I think y'all are. Saquon Barkley is a beast. He's like, he's kind of like Adrian Peterson when he first got in the league. I'll talk about that in a second. And they literally, it was like basically the only two receivers that I seen touch the ball really in that game was Barkley and Odell Beckham. Well, on the other hand, where you had the Eagles showing like we're still that playoff team. We're here. Even though it's against the Giants, I want to see them do it against a better team. I want to see that same spunk coming out in this week. And then we had the Buccaneers and Falcons. And by the way, all these games, except for a few of them, was very close. Except the Eagles and Giants, of course. You know, that score was 34-13, in case y'all wondering. But the Buccaneers and Falcons, that game was 29-34. Another close battle. Like, I thought the Buccaneers was going to end up pulling that game out. But they couldn't hold on. So, that was that, you know. Falcons pulled that off. And I feel like the Falcons needed that win. After they suffered a loss 2 weeks ago now. They needed that win. Because now they're 2-4. So they needed that win. And then the Buccaneers are 2-3. So it was a nice win against a division rival. You feel me? Chargers and Browns, on the other hand. Chargers led the way through the whole entire game. It was 38-14. And the Seahawks, that game, Seahawks versus the Raiders, that game right there, I was kind of laughing at because it was like, every time I look at like the Raiders, I'm not used to the Raiders getting killed like that. But the Seahawks put up 27 points and kept the Raiders to just a field goal. One field goal. That's all they kept him to. And the fans was actually criticizing John Gruden, and he kind of fired back at him. But it's like, you let go of your pass rush, your best pass rusher, and then you cry and say, "Hey, it'll be better if we had a good pass rusher." You did. You let him go. You gift wrapped him to the Bears and shipped them off. And look what he's doing. They got the second best defense in the league. Bills, on the other hand, the Bills lost Josh Allen in that game against the Texans, and they also lost the game 13-20. But they lost Josh Allen. They did not want to turn to Nathan Peterman. They went out and signed Derek Anderson. So Nathan Peterman has 10 interceptions total. Like his first couple games in the league, when I remember this like it was yesterday, he literally threw 2 interceptions back to back. When Tyrod went down, when they benched him, he threw an interception again to the point where they had to put Tyrod back in there. So it's like, he's what you call a quarterback buzz. Like, you got all the good reviews and all this and all that when they drafted you and they seen something in you, but where is it? Because you constantly throwing interceptions like you're throwing, not even looking at where you're throwing. You're just throwing the ball in the air hoping one of your teammates get it. So they end up signing Derek Anderson, who's set to start this week. Instead of Peterman. Derek Anderson is their number 3 quarterback, and Peterman was number 2, but now Peterman is number 3. We also had the Ravens shut out the Titans 21-0. Where was the team that we was like, oh, the Titans could actually make the playoffs this year, cruise on to the Super Bowl? Not happening in that game. We'll see this week in their next game. But not in that game. Not in that game. Maybe not against the Chargers this week either. We'll see. It may be a different ball game. Steelers and Bengals, another close game. Which most of these games was either by a field goal or touchdown. Steelers pulled it off in the fourth quarter in the last closing seconds of the game. And they went crazy. That score was 28-21 against the Bengals. Rams, on the other hand, is the only team right now in the league that's undefeated. They won 23-20 again by a field goal or touchdown against the Broncos. And I thought the Broncos was going to give them their first loss. They came really close, but the thing about completing games, closing it out, that's always an issue with some of these teams. Now, the number 1 ranked defense, on the other hand, you got shut out 42-7 against the Cowboys. But that goes to saying, when Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott, when they get their yardage, so if Prescott's getting 200 plus yards in the air and Elliott's getting 20 plus carries a game, they usually win. And it shows looking at the score, 40-7. They usually win. I love you too, Auntie Yvonne. And then we had the Cardinals and Vikings. Vikings pulled off a win against the Cardinals. But they played against the Cardinals, who this season is not looking too good for them right now. That score was 27-17. Now, a game that everybody had a heart attack over, felt disappointed over, was the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. That game came down to a wire of a field goal. It was 28-31. Bears lose that game. And they started out that game kind of horrible. Like, it was like they couldn't move the ball that much. And every time I turned, they was kicking the ball off to Miami. And then it came alive in the second half. Like, in the second half, going into halftime, it was 21-7. And then come out of halftime, Bears came, caught up, and it was like they was going tick for tack in this whole game. Brock Osweiler, who was the starting quarterback because Ryan Tannehill was out, and he still would be out due to his shoulder, throwing touchdowns with Trubisky. Like, they was playing TikTok. It was like, oh, you gonna get a big play? I'm gonna get a big play. You gonna get a big play? I'm gonna get a big play. Josh Howard fumble on the 1 yard line, and then Frank, I think that was his name, he fumbled on the 1 yard line. So, like I said, they was going tick for tack. Going super tick for tack. And Parkey had a chance to win the game but missed that field goal. And then Dolphins came down and kicked the field goal. Like they moved the ball. So that tick for tack battle was going. But and on the other hand, the Green Bay Packers pulled off a win in the exact same fashion. 30-33. That game was also close. That was going down to the wire. But you got the comeback kid of Aaron Rodgers, who always finds a way. It's like, if you got the lead on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in the fourth quarter and there's that much time left, best believe he's going to come back. If you give him, they call him Mr. Hail Mary. If you give him, let's give you an estimate of 60 seconds, he can move the ball down in 20. So, like, or I should say 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a lot of time for him. So, it's like, and he literally drove them down into field goal range on just a few passes. And then they kicked the field goal to win the game. So, with that being said, the Bears need to win the game this week. Because right now, they're still currently in first right now. Because of that tie with the Vikings. And so basically this whole NFC North, if we're looking at standings, right? What's up, Ashley? Looking at standings. So we got Bears 3-2. Packers 3-2-1. Vikings 3-2-1. And Lions 2-3. So the NFC North division is going to be a crazy division down the wire. It's going to be a no-holds-barred grudge match. And the Bears got to try to pull out a win. And their next game is here this Sunday at 12 p.m. against the New England Patriots. Which is going to be kind of hard for them to do, depending on which Patriots we get in that game. If Khalil Mack can get sacked, oh yeah. Khalil Mack didn't have no sack against the Dolphins. They was held to 0 sacks that game. So we can get our sack game against the Patriots and force him to either run the ball to use White more or just stop them on defense in general. We should be able to pull out the W. And if we keep playing our great offensive game that I've noticed steadily improves each and every day, the Bears can pull off the win this Sunday against the Patriots here in Chicago. We got the Jets versus the Vikings as well. And yeah, those are pretty much the games that you should be looking for. As far as division, oh yeah, Dolphins versus Lions. And the Packers are on a bye this week. So let's watch these games closely. Let's watch come down the wire as we enter week 7 of the NFL. With that being said, I have another song for you. This is another song from Slick J. Adams. This song is called So Good. You want to be good? You gotta be good. Work at it. Keep striving for your goals, no matter what. So Good with Slick J. Adams.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20-piece. Cause girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. Oh, no. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nail done. When you put that clone on, why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clone on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a chick. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on. When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing it when you be getting the wrong woman on. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair down and your nails down, when you put the clothes on, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dante Payne, and I'm signing off here on Dragon Sports Live. See you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Holla at your boy. Peace.